You got to let the people know around you that I need time.
Yes, sir.
Look, I need some time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So yeah, that's a big one, man. And I know all men probably struggle from those lists,
Oh yeah.
as you say.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, they're just not on the list. We're
Yeah.
not on our own list.
Right. Right. Got to put yourself up there,
For
man.
sure,
Make
man.
time for yourself.
So a as you grow financially, spiritually, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as you're growing and getting better,
Mm-hmm.
being a better you, being a healthier you, so you
Yeah.
can be a healthier employee, you can be a healthier this,
Mm-hmm.
that. There's some people in your life that's not going where you're going. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's some individuals around you
Yeah.
that are not, they're not mentally ready, they're not
Mm-hmm.
financially ready, they're not spiritually ready.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not quite ready to go exactly where you're going in
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say going in life, I mean the next level of your life.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? People that's not going, or how do you decide who's going and who's not going?
Yeah. Man, that's a great question. That's a really, really, really good question. Um, so my experience has been, um, man, it's been really, 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 really rare where I've had to like cut off a relationship,
Okay.
or something like that. Um, because for me, more often than not, the fact that I am committed to going where I'm going
Mm-hmm.
and that person is not kind of leads to a natural separation.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I think here's an example. If on Sunday mornings back in the day, 10 o'clock was car wash time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now in my life, 10 o'clock is Sunday morning at church time.
Worship time.
I'm going to church.
Yeah.
You going to the car wash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't have to cut you off. We're now just going in separate directions.
That's right.
If financially, on a regular basis, we were spending our money, and our constant conversation was about, sports betting, we going
Mm-hmm.
to the horse races, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. And now I'm doing something different with my finances.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't go with you,
That's right.
or our conversation is going to change because I'm not doing that anymore.
That's right.
If you're going to keep doing that,
Yeah.
you're going to keep doing it. But our relationship, or at least our conversations, are going to shift because I'm going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's always been just a natural
Separation.
separation because I see where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm headed in that direction.
Uh-huh.
And I'm talking to you about where I'm going.
That's right.
And if you want to go with me, we're going together.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't want to go with me, I'm still going.
Gotcha.
Right? And you get to choose to keep going where you're going.
That's right.
And no love loss,
That's right.
no animosity, no
Mhm.
tension, no hate. I don't think I'm better than you. I just see myself going somewhere different.
Yeah.
I got a different finish line now.
Two different
And
paths.
two different paths, man. Two different paths.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and I think that's speaks volume of your life, the way your life is designed,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because not everybody has those easy breakup moments.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because
For sure.
there's a lot of challenges, a lot of conflict
Mm-hmm.
that comes along with separation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you start to choose two different paths.
Mm-hmm.
And in society now, everybody says, I'll just cut them off.
Yeah.
That's like the big thing to do
Yeah.
now. I'll just cut
Right.
them off.
Right.
But when you think about so many other things, I don't want to cut off the people that I love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to cut off the people that I have been around.
Mm-hmm.
My day ones.
Yep. Yep.
I don't want to cut them off. So that's that's challenging.
Yeah.
When you have to do that.
Yep.
But if you don't have to, I guess that would be the natural road.
Yeah. And so I think the issue, sometimes is we're just not going in the same direction anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
We're not going the same direction anymore. And so it doesn't have to be a funny cutoff. That's not who I am.
Okay.
That's not where I'm headed. That's not where I'm going. I might have been about that life before, but I'm not about that life now. And considering where I'm headed, because here's the other piece. When I start down a new path,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to meet people who are going down that path with you.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
right.
you pick up some new relationships with
Mm-hmm.
some new people who are headed in the same
There you
direction
go.
as you. One of the challenges of holding on to people who are headed in a different direction than you are is um, you are not free to keep moving forward because they keep pulling you
Pulling you
back.
back.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
the conversation's like, yo, you acting funny now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. Yep.
or why
Yep.
you don't hang out with us anymore, or
Yep.
any of that type of stuff. It's like, it's not that. It's none of that. It's that I used to share values with you.
Mm-hmm.
My value system has changed a little bit. So some of the stuff that we used to talk about, I don't even talk about that stuff anymore.
For sure.
Or some of the ways that we used to manage life, I don't manage life like that anymore. Some of the
Okay.
relationships that we used to, play around with, yeah, I ain't doing that no more. Right? Because I got a family at stake.
Yeah.
I've got children at stake. I got a spouse. I got a future. I've got generations to come. And some of the decisions that we were making back then, you
Mm-hmm.
still making them. I ain't making them,
And I'm in a whole different direction.
bruh, because I've got a clear vision for where I'm trying to go with my life, and I can't jeopardize it because you want to keep me back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no.
So as a pastor,
Hmm.
you make that sound real smooth.
Yeah.
I really like the way that you like, it's just a natural separation, right? So let me come a little closer
Yeah.
to you.
Come on,
Let
bro.
me
Come
come a little
on.
closer
Come
to you,
on.
brother. So sometimes there's a lot of animosity
Hmm.
and conflict,
Yeah.
um, because the people that you're around, you invest in those people, right?
Hmm.
And those people invest in you.
Yes, sir.
So there becomes a time where the people that you're investing in,
Hmm.
they're not investing back in you.
Yeah.
There becomes a time where
Hmm.
um, people are investing in you
Yeah.
and you're not investing back in them.
Yeah. Yep.
And when I say the investment
Yeah.
piece,
That's
I'm
good.
not just talking about
Yeah.
financially,
I get it.
because if me and
Hmm.
you are good friends, or we're in this together,
Right.
the investment is mutual, right?
Hmm.
But the type of investment may be different.
Yes.
You may be the kind of brother that I can call when I need a couple dollars,
Right.
right? Hey
Right.
man, can I borrow some money, right?
Hmm.
And you say do that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm the kind of brother that you can call when you need me to listen to you,
Right.
help you figure some things out.
For sure.
So now we equally invested in each other,
Right.
right?
Right.
How does that separation look?
Yeah. And so, man, that's a good question. And I think it depends, right? I think it's situational.
Okay.
I really do, man. I think it's situational. I think that, at least for me, what I try to do to some extent is properly categorize people.
Okay.
I have some people in my life who are, man, they're associates.
Uh-huh.
We're associated with one
That's right.
another. We're cool. If I need something, I can call him. He needs something, he can call
Mm-hmm.
me. We're not necessarily friends, though.
There you go.
But we're associated
There
with
you
each
go.
other. And then I have some people who, I can confide in, I can
Okay.
talk to. I can share hopes, dreams, visions, frustrations, all of
All
that
of
kind of
that.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a different level of friendship.
Yeah.
I think for some of us, man, we got people in the wrong category sometimes.
Whoa. That's a big one, bro.
And the challenge though is, once you get them in the wrong category, how you put them back in the right category.
Yes.
Right. And I think sometimes that's when some tension comes,
Yeah.
and some frustration and aggravation. Or we used to do, or we used to be, or you're
Yeah.
used to with X, Y, and Z. And at some point, man, you got to make a decision about what you're more committed to. Am I committed to my future,
Mm-hmm.
and to the place where I'm headed, or am I committed to, to what I used to have,
Understood.
to the history that we had. So am I more committed to my future or to my past?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some stuff from your past ought to go with you into your
Mm-hmm.
future. Some stuff from your past ought to stay in your past.
Okay.
Right? It ought to stay in your past,
Okay.
because it does not serve you well at all for where you're headed.
Understood.
And think about it, man. How many decisions did you make, 20 years ago that you would not make?
Yeah, I ain't doing that no more.
You know what I'm
That's right.
saying?
I'm
In
not doing that.
2025.
Yeah.
And then how many people were you hanging with 20 years ago who would still be making those same decisions
Yeah.
now. It's like, man, y'all still doing that?
Yeah.
I ain't doing that, man.
Yeah.
I got too
So
much to lose.
I got two best friends,
Hmm.
and my two best friends, we've been best friends since uh since we was kids.
Yeah,
One of them maybe like 4 or 5 years old.
yeah,
We've been
yeah.
best friends, and the other one maybe since we was maybe 9 or 10 years old.
Hmm.
And I think because our lives have been designed the same way,
Hmm.
it kept us tight over the years. So
Yeah,
that's why we over 40 years we've been
yeah.
friends,
Right.
because our lives have been designed. So our trials, our tribulations,
Yeah.
everything has been the same.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Um, so that's what keeps us close.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that investment piece that I was saying, sometimes people just choose not to invest in you no more.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's the challenging part,
Yeah.
on one end or the other.
Yeah.
Someone's choosing not to invest in somebody. And I also think that people fumble you sometimes. I think that, your investment,
Facts.
you're investing in people and
Yeah.
who you are.
Hmm.
Some of the people that
That's a fact.
are handling your
Yeah.
investment,
Right.
they're not prepared to handle you,
Right.
and they didn't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
So they end up fumbling you.
Hmm. Yep.
And that causes a lot of conflict and separation too.
Yeah. Man, yeah, absolutely. And so what's crazy is when that happens with somebody that you've been friends with for a long time.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because, and so my pastor said this to my wife and I when we were in premarital counseling, but I think the same principle applies now.
Okay.
You know, you're going to grow, right? The question is, how are you going to grow? Are you going to grow together? Or are you going to grow apart?
Gotcha.
Right? And I think even in friendships and in other relationships, you're gonna grow
Yeah, for
over
sure.
time. You can grow together if you're headed in the same direction,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you're gonna grow apart if you're growing in different
Yes,
directions.
you are.
And so when we talk about investing in people and pouring into people and that kind of thing, um, people cannot give you any more than they have.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And some people have a limited capacity. And you got to understand that about them. I still appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
I still love you. No love lost. You just don't have the capacity to give me any more than you've already given me.
That's right.
And it's not a problem.
That's right.
It's just where you're limited. I have limitations too.
Absolutely.
I cannot give anybody any more than I have.
That you don't have.
But there is somebody who has more than you,
Mm-hmm.
and they have what I need.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to get it.
That's right.
That's
why I got to go to get it from.
That's why I got to go get it.
Yeah.
And so I think all of those things are important. And then too, man, understanding that not all relationships are meant to be lifelong, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some people
Which is a hard pill to swallow.
It is.
Depending on the relationship.
It is.
But you're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not.
And then look, for example, man, how many people, when you were working at Norfolk Southern, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many people did you consider yourself to be tight with or friends with or cool with at Norfolk Southern who the category has changed since you're not there anymore?
Yes.
Not because of anything other than the fact that I don't work with you anymore.
That's right.
So I don't see you every day.
I'm not in your presence. That's right.
So the relationship has changed.
Yeah. Big
time. It was good for that season.
Yeah.
But the season has changed.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
I totally agree, man.
Mm-hmm.
So and along those same lines, let me ask you this, brother. What's your greatest character flaw?
Man.
Have you ever thought about that one?
I have thought about it. I probably should have asked my wife.
Okay.
And my children.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all see as my greatest character flaw? Man, let me first say I'm a flawed brother.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, man. I'm a flawed man, and so trying to identify the greatest one, I think, was the challenge for me.
Okay.
What's my biggest problem?
Gotcha.
And Travis, I still don't know how to identify the single greatest character flaw for me, so I can give you more than one.
Okay.
Right? I think one is that I am sometimes I can be logical to a fault. Right? Like you just ain't gonna tell me anything. and me
Okay.
believe you. You know what I mean?
You're too logical.
Right. So sometimes
Everything got to be logical.
it got to make sense. Make it make
Yeah,
sense. Like, who are you even
yeah.
talking to?
That's right.
Like, what are we
That's
talking about?
right.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
The problem is when I'm in conversations with people who don't know how to make it make
Uh-huh.
sense. Or they are like, I don't even know how to. I don't know how to explain it. I'm like, well, I don't even know why we're talking then.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Which isn't right.
Yes.
Which isn't right at all. Because just because you can't explain what you feel doesn't mean that you feel it.
That doesn't mean that it's not real.
It doesn't mean that it's not real.
Mhm.
But I'm like, okay, well, you go figure out how to make 2 + 2 = 4, and then come
Yeah.
back and talk to me. Which is not always a good situation.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes that kind of gets in the way of me being a better person, right?
So you would call that one of your bigger flaws?
I think that's one. Another one is spending a lot of time here
Thinking.
to process stuff.
Okay.
You know, I will I will take a situation here,
Mm-hmm.
think through it completely on my own. I'm logical, right? I'm making this stuff add up. I'm subtracting them, dividing, multiply, and bruh, when I got the answer, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the answer.
So
The
you
problem
think.
is, right, and that's the problem, right? The problem is, I have not had the benefit of anybody else's opinion,
Yeah.
anybody else's voice, anybody else's thought. And if I want it, I'm gonna go Google it,
Mhm.
right, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, taking the time to do what we're doing right now,
Mhm.
and just talk with somebody else about what you're thinking,
Yeah.
what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, the whole 9 yards. Having these kinds of conversations about life,
Yes.
man, and about specific situations and circumstances and everything. Sometimes other people can present a different perspective that
Yes.
you couldn't come up with while you were talking to
For
yourself.
sure. Because you was in your own head.
Because you were in your own
Yeah.
head.
And
Yeah.
somebody else's thoughts is not in your head.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's you call that a flaw, but I would maybe call that a quality as well in some situations, that you're able to think your way through things. So that that don't have to be necessarily a flaw, but I understand.
Yeah. And so somebody told me once that your biggest quality can be your biggest flaw at the same time.
Ooh,
You know what I'm
God
saying?
Almighty.
And I think that's true. And
Man.
so I'll take Travis Harmon as an example,
Mhm.
right? One of Travis's, and this is from the outside looking in.
Okay.
One of Travis's best qualities is it is a generous spirit, right?
Wow.
A generous heart.
Okay.
You're a giving brother,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Travis,
Thank you.
if you're not careful about giving, bruh, people will suck you dry.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
People will suck you dry. They will take, and you like, yeah, he still needs some more though, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's still
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know I gave her my last, but Kim, can I borrow $5 because she needs some more?
Because she need $5
Yeah,
more.
right. She need $5 more. It's like, wait a minute, Travis, y'all lights out.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all lights out, and they lit up like Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because sometimes our biggest strength
Mhm.
can be our biggest weakness.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes. So it's funny that you said that. So I was gonna touch on two things that you just said.
Yeah.
Earlier you said you should have asked your wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did a study about. I do a lot of self-evaluating.
Mm-hmm.
I self-evaluate myself often.
Yeah.
And I came up with a couple questions about my flaws and my qualities, right? And I texted to my wife.
Wow.
I text my daughter.
Wow.
I text my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I text my best female friend.
Okay.
And all of them
Mm-hmm.
text me back.
Wow.
Almost the exact same thing.
Wow.
About my flaw
Uh-huh.
and my quality.
Wow.
And the other thing I wanted to touch on that you said is they almost said the same thing, that my greatest quality turns into my flaw sometimes.
Yes, sir.
So
it's real.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I expect myself out of other people. And
Yep.
You know, I mean, I think if I would do it, why wouldn't they do it?
Right.
You know, this is what I would do. Like, why wouldn't you do it?
Right.
Because, like you just said, you think your way through it,
Yes, sir.
but other people's feelings are not in your head. Their
Right.
thoughts are not in your head. You
Yeah.
thought your way through it.
Right.
So in your mind, this the way it should be.
Bruh.
And sometimes it ain't like that
Yeah.
because people have their own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
People are dealing with trauma
Yeah.
that you can't even imagine, right? You're not dealing with that trauma, so your
Yep.
mind doesn't go that way.
Yep.
But because they deal with the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to one brother and he said that I was talking to a brother a couple of days ago and he said he's coming out of a bad marriage
Mm-hmm.
and you know, he's coming out of bad divorce and his wife she was a certain type of way. She was a
Mm-hmm.
certain type of woman and he couldn't handle that, right?
Gotcha.
And he didn't like it. So the woman he's dating now, he said he's able to pick up on it right away.
Wow.
Because he learned from his ex-wife
Yeah.
that he doesn't like that and he
Right.
can't live with that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when a person has been through some trauma or they have you know, lived through some things
Yep.
or experienced some things,
Mm-hmm.
their mind works a little different than your mind.
Man, I've got a friend, very similar situation.
Okay.
You know, went through a divorce, and he told me when he was you know, kind of getting back on the dating scene.
Okay.
He said, "Bro, let me tell you something. When I see crazy coming across the street,
Yeah.
period,
He's
like,
I ain't doing
there
it. No
ain't
kind of crazy.
yeah, man. When I see it
Yeah.
coming, I'm like, okay, all right, then take her off the list,
Uh-huh.
right? Ain't no more conversations because I've been there, done that, and I don't ever want to go back because it was traumatizing.
Man,
Yeah,
you're so right, man.
Yeah.
And that's the way a person's mind works, man. You know,
Yeah.
and it's okay
mm-hmm.
because you know your trauma, your experiences is your journey.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know? And it's okay for you to think however, you know, that makes your thought process go.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, because that's your thought process.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, and it's protective. You know, a lot of times, you know, once you have experienced, I if you reach over right now and punch me in my jaw,
Mhm.
right? From now on, I'm gonna be very aware of the fact that if I sit too close to Travis,
That's right.
you know what
I'm
I
watching
mean?
them.
That, but I got my eyes on you.
That's right.
You know, I can forgive you. I can let go of the fact that you hit me before,
Mhm.
but I got my eyes on the fact that you have the ability
That's right.
to get me again.
For sure.
You know, yeah,
And I often say, man, that I say this all the time. You know, your personal experiences or your personal opinion
hmm
comes from your personal
a lot of
experiences.
times.
You know, and
Yep.
you know what you have experienced
hmm
allows you to think and have an opinion of
Yeah,
whatever your opinion is.
yeah,
So
and so the flip side of that is that it can be dangerous too.
it can be.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
If we have these experiences that lead to these opinions, but if we're not careful, we will allow that trauma to kind of dictate the direction of our lives.
Yes.
You know, so because you had a relationship with somebody, the relationship went south because of infidelity, for example. Now you don't want to trust any woman anywhere.
That's right.
You know, because of your
That's
experiences
right.
and your opinion. Now you think all women are going to be like the last woman.
And they're
All
not.
women are not the same.
That's right.
You know, so at some point, have your experiences, develop your opinions, have your feelings, but also go through the process, whatever that may be, because it's
Mhm.
different for different people. The process of being healed from the hurt
Yeah.
of the past,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that hurt doesn't get dragged into your next
That's
relationship,
right.
and you start punishing people who never did anything wrong to you.
That's right.
You
They
know,
didn't even deserve it.
didn't even deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's major, man.
Yeah.
That's major, man. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So, Pastor Tyler Perry said one time he was in Arizona, man.
Mhm.
He was on a business trip,
Hmm.
and he was supposed to be there for 1 week on business.
hmm
But while he was there, he had a moment where he had to check himself into a facility, a counseling facility,
hmm
to offload some of the things that he was carrying around.
Yeah.
So what he had was, I like to call those my load is too heavy moment.
Yeah.
So he had a moment where his load was just too heavy,
Yeah.
and he had to check himself into a facility so he can offload some of this stuff,
Yeah.
and deal with it and process some of this stuff, right?
hmm
Have you ever had one of those moments?
So I've never been checked into a facility.
Okay.
but I've had those moments.
Okay.
I've definitely had those moments. And so earlier I talked about, making a list of the stuff that I was responsible for,
Okay.
right? At one point, um, that list became heavy.
Mm.
Like it was a lot going on,
Yeah.
on that list. And, I did the stuff that we're supposed to do, right? So I was still praying, still studying the word of God, still, reflecting and meditating and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But it was still
Yeah.
a lot to carry. And so I told my wife, I think I'm gonna go see a therapist.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow through. I reached out to a guy about something else, and he was like, "Well, what about you? You need to talk about X, Y, and Z."
Hmm.
I'm like, "No, I'm good." Then I went home and I thought about that thing and everything else I was carrying. I was like, "Nah, I think I'm gonna go
I
and
need to
follow up with this
talk.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need to talk
Yeah.
about some of the stuff that's on my mind.
Yes.
Some of the issues that are weighing me down." And man, it was valuable,
I believe it.
bro. It was valuable just to be able to sit down and say, let me tell you what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I'm thinking. And for me, it was good. The therapist piece was good because they're bound by confidentiality,
Yes.
right? So what I told him, he can't tell anybody.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And then he was able to help me kind of think through some stuff,
Hmm.
process some stuff,
Hmm.
and all of that. And so it was definitely a good situation
Okay.
because the loads can get heavy. And no matter how much of a man you are, everybody has a weight capacity.
Yes, they do.
You know what I mean? Everybody has a weight capacity.
That's right.
And if you exceed that weight
Hmm.
capacity, you're not going to be able to function like you
For
supposed.
sure.
You're just too heavy.
For sure.
You're too heavy.
For
And
sure.
um and so yeah, man, I've definitely had one of those moments where I needed to go sit down, have some conversations with somebody
Hmm.
who could help me think through some stuff, process through some stuff,
Gotcha.
figure out how to have some conversations that I needed to have,
For
and
sure.
all that good stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
So, man, when I think about counseling, I've had tons of counseling.
Hmm.
I've had a lot of counseling
Hmm.
and therapy.
Yeah.
And sometimes my therapy comes at work.
Hmm.
Me and one of my coworkers just
Yeah,
talking.
that's good.
You know,
Yeah.
other times it comes from um, my friends.
Yeah. Yep.
Me and my best friends, we're just
Hmm.
talking.
Hmm.
We got a group chat. Sometimes we say, "Look, man, what y'all think about this?"
Yeah.
We're talking to each other about it
Hmm.
on the group chat. And
Yeah.
then sometimes I pick the phone up and I say, "Hey, what you doing, man? I'm on my
Right.
way over there."
Right.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
therapy to me.
Yeah.
And then also I've been to paid
Hmm.
therapy too,
Yep.
and it was good.
Yeah.
It was good, man.
Yeah.
And I encourage brothers, man, to get you some therapy if you need
Oh,
some.
absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
a lot of especially in the black community,
I was gonna say it.
community,
Yeah.
and with the older generation,
Hmm.
they feel like therapy is for the weak.
Yeah.
And I don't know what painted that picture in our head years ago that therapy is for the weak,
Hmm.
or therapy is not for us,
Yeah.
or so many narratives when it comes to the black community.
Hmm.
But therapy is for us.
Yeah.
It's for us.
Absolutely.
I promise you.
Dude, I think if it's like if it's for anybody,
It is.
it's for us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Considering the loads that we've had to carry.
Man, I think you onto something
You,
there.
you, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
And not just our generation, but the generations prior to us
Hmm.
and the stuff that's been handed down.
Yes.
Man, yeah, bro. Yeah, absolutely. We need to have the experience.
We need
And
to.
so I will say that, man, I think historically though, one of the challenges for us not going to see a paid therapist,
Hmm.
number one is because we didn't have too many paid therapists in our community,
Okay.
who looked like us.
That's right.
And because they didn't look like us, there was already a mistrust,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Hmm.
And I think that's part of it. The other piece is, and I can run it back to days of American slavery, where weakness, um, where any sign of weakness could lead to your death.
Ah.
You know what I mean? It could
So
be the end of
yeah.
your life.
So I got
And
to be
so,
strong.
so, bruh, as you are being whipped, don't holler.
Hmm.
Even if let a tear fall, but don't holler, don't scream.
Hmm.
Be strong. Endure it all. And so, in a lot of ways, those things that have been passed down from generation to generation are still resting on our shoulders.
Ah,
So the good and some of the bad,
and the ugly.
all and the ugly, bro. It's all tied together.
Yeah.
And so I think in a lot of ways we need some space, some safe space. We need what you're doing right now.
Okay.
Brothers need a safe place, a safe space to
Yeah.
have conversations, to reflect, to
Hmm.
think. Like the questions that you've asked today, bruh. Those questions, for some people, just having to answer some of these questions is therapeutic.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Talking about your family
Uh
upbringing,
huh.
talking about your father, talking about whatever it is, that we've talked about today. Man, some of that stuff, just this conversation alone for some men will be game changing.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
And that's the goal, man. That's the
Yeah.
goal, man. I hope that whatever we do, whatever we talk about, man, we're able to create some content
Hmm.
that brothers can use.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of like the whole goal because mental health is real.
For sure.
And when I say mental health, I don't want to always speak on it as a negative
Right.
thing
Absolutely.
because some mental health things are issues.
Yeah.
So that's a negative
Right.
thing. That's a
Right.
mental health issue,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
And then some things are mental health qualities,
Hmm. Right.
So that brother's mental health is in a good place,
Yeah. Right.
so that could be a positive thing.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about it both ways.
Absolutely.
We got to continue to talk about it.
Hmm.
The brothers can learn from it and grow from it, and all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact, like you said, this is therapy, bro.
For sure.
This is therapy.
Yeah.
Just being able to think back when
Yep.
we talk about our childhoods.
Hmm.
Okay, let me get in that bag. Let me
Yeah.
think back to my childhood.
Yeah.
How does that look?
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
because some things you have lived so long and suppressed so many things. Some things you forgot about.
Yes,
You
sir.
don't even know that it happened
Yes, sir.
at this point in your life.
Yep. That's
You
real.
know, but it really happened to you.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty dope, man. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Good stuff, man.
Well, Pastor, man, I thank you, man. Thank you for sitting
Man,
down
thank you,
and
bro. This has been good. Yeah, man. This has been good.
well, I'm glad.